Welcome to Moments with Marianne. This is your host, Marianne Pastana. And we're here today with special guest, Melissa Zartar, who's here to share with us her new book, A Metamorphosis Within, Journey to Healing, Self-Discovery, and Finding One's Purpose in Life. So is it time for your relationship with yourself and others to change? Well, today we're going to cover just that. Melissa Zartar is a licensed marriage and family therapist specializing in individuals, teens, couples, and family psychotherapy based in Woodland Hills, California. She is currently serving as a private practitioner, working with a broad spectrum of clients. As your therapist, she'll provide a non-judgmental space to be your inspiring and reliable partner. We all know that being in therapy is a process, but Melissa will motivate you to think more positively, guide you through transforming your negative thoughts, and celebrate your achievements. You will rebuild confidence, strength, and skills that will serve you for the rest of your life. So let's welcome to the show, Melissa Zartar.
Hi, Marianne. Thanks for having me.
What an honor it is to have you here to talk about this book. So what inspired you to write this book?
As a psychotherapist, I work with individuals who face various obstacles in their lives, navigating complicated relationships, undergoing profound internal shifts that lead to a positive change. I find similarities in countless stories I've heard from women inspired me to reflect on myself and wanted to empower readers by showing them being vulnerable can promote healing and that they're not alone, and to inspire them to embark on their own journey of personal transformation.
Well, what an inspiration that is. And so in what way do women especially need help in finding themselves now?
Women, like anyone else, can benefit from support and resources to navigate the journey of self discovery. It is important to acknowledge that every person, regardless of gender, cultural standards, or gender stereotypes, experiences unique challenges and opportunities for personal growth. As women, it is our responsibility to cultivate self love and awareness, understanding our needs and relationships, as well as defining the kind of life we aspire to lead.
So I know in your book you talk about having empathy. Why is that important?
Yes, well, empathy is an essential quality. It fosters profound understanding and connection. Its downside can manifest in individuals experiencing emotional exhaustion, being exploited, and potentially leading to heightened stress. Empathetic women should prioritize self awareness as it helps them navigate the fine line between compassion and having boundaries.
When we talk about being comfortable with boundaries for people that have never had boundaries before, how do they establish that?
I think boundaries come from being self-aware, right? Being able to knowing ourselves, what are some of our limits, what are some things that we're comfortable with or not. And once we are sure of that, knowing ourselves better, then it is easier to express that and being able to set up healthy boundaries with people.
I was interested in how you even address that in your book.
Sadly, there are a lot of instances these days that our men try to take advantage of women, and they are sneaky. By nature, women tend to be too generous when it comes to love. At times, we might show selflessness, so it's critical that we exercise caution and notice deceptive behaviors to avoid falling into a trap of a con artist to preserve our financial and personal well-being.
So in your book, you talk about setting difficult personal goals. So why should we do that?
So I believe setting goals that we may perceive as challenging is an essential part of self-discovery process. To recognize that we are capable of challenging ourselves to grow, to build resilience, and to maintain motivation, setting and achieving ambitious goals pushes us to go above and beyond our own expectation and accomplish significant success, and how far we think that we can go. And of course, I mean, we need to be mindful of like our safety, our finances, when we need to be realistic and achievable goals. But yes, I mean, depending on, how comfortable they are with, setting goals, difficult goals and challenging goals can be like maybe moving out of state or changing a career, changing jobs. And so to some, this such goals can be difficult because it requires bravery and more effort to taking steps that that needs to be get there.
I was so impressed because in your book, you talk about things that I have not seen in other books, which is so important. And one is talking about how we survive romantic relationships. And
Mhm.
so, where do we start with that?
So, prioritizing self care is essential to moving on from a breakup since it promotes both emotional healing and personal growth. We need to allow ourselves to grieve and process the emotions associated with the breakup. We can use our creativity with art, journaling, meditation, and physical movement that can be very helpful. Creating a support system by reaching out to friends or family who can offer understanding and encouragement, and engaging in activities that brings us joy and sense of accomplishment, and consider seeking professional support through therapy to gain insight and coping strategies.
In your book, you share about how recovering from a toxic relationship is a frequently difficult process that calls for a great deal of bravery, introspection, and self care. So, what are some of those points that we could start making in our own lives? What are some of the self care, maybe bravery points that we can start?
Yes, great question. So, it is important for us to first being able to prioritize ourselves and being able to recognize like what are our goals and what makes us happy, and taking our time to grieve the breakup, and taking some interventions to help yourself to like grieve the like loss of a relationship, such as by connecting with support system or by journaling, seeking professional help can be helpful, and prioritizing self-care is really essential. It promotes both emotional, physical, spiritual way to improve our overall well-being.
So let's say that we're in a romantic relationship that is changing, and our partner just isn't as interested in us as maybe they used to be. What do
Mhm.
we do?
Yes. Yes, so this is a scenario that I see quite often in my practice. There are several steps that we can take. First, it's important to address the issue with an open communication and have a calm, sincere discussion to learn about their viewpoint and emotions. Talk about your worries and feelings while paying attention to what they have to say. And this conversation can help in determining any changes or underlying problems that may have arisen. Discussing ways to rekindle the connection or explore new activities together would inspire optimism and show effort. And lastly, it might occasionally be helpful to consult a therapist for advice or assistance in overcoming these obstacles.
So I know we've talked about breakups. So, what are some ways we can put ourselves first after we get over a breakup?
Yes, as I mentioned, I think prioritizing self care is essential to moving on from a breakup since it promotes both emotional healing and personal growth. We need to allow ourselves to grieve and process the emotions associated with the breakup, and we can use, our, creativity with journaling, meditation, and reaching out to your support system, to your friends and family who can offer understanding and encouragement, and engaging in some activities that brings us a joy and sense of accomplishment.
In your book, you talk about self awareness. Why is this an important piece?
Yes, there are several excellent reasons why being self-aware is essential. Being self-aware enables us to recognize our strengths, weaknesses, emotions, and encourages us to personal growth. It helps with effective decision making and gives us the ability to navigate the life with authenticity and purpose. Um, Increasing self awareness involves regularly reflecting on our thoughts, emotions, and actions, seeking feedback from others, which is sometimes hard for people, and embracing the mindset of curiosity and openness to better understand yourself.
Well, on that note, we're going to pause here for a quick break. We've been speaking with Melissa Zartar in regards to her new book, A Metamorphosis Within: Journey to Healing, Self Discovery, and Finding One's Purpose in Life. We'll be right back after these messages from our sponsors.
Hi, I'm Julie Jansis, the angel medium. Want to know how to hear your angels clearly? Listen to the Angels and Awakening podcast every week. And if you want to go even deeper, register for my free 3-day Angel Fest online retreat to know exactly which angels are working with you. Register today at theangelmedium.com/free. That's theangelmedium.com/free.
Hey, pay attention, everybody. Amy Vaughn and myself, Dutch Mendenhall, are hosting an event. Have you ever felt like the wealthiest in America play by a different rule book? Even if you earn well, make money, invest wisely, educate yourself, there is an invisible barrier. It separates you from the financial security enjoyed by America's elite. The economic landscape changes every day. The wealthy elite know how to stay ahead of it because we play by a different rule book. At Invest Well Summit, we'll share all the plays, and we're making it to win. Spots are going to sell out fast at InvestWell Summit, so get your butt to investwellsummit.com and secure your seat now.
There comes a moment when you realize you're somewhere special, when you discover that each beautiful creature that you see has been rescued from a life of absolute horror and brought to this incredibly free place. Here's where their lives were forever changed, and where yours will as well. Discover over 500 tigers, bears, and lions at the brand new visitor center at the Wild Animal Sanctuary just outside Denver. For more information, visit wildanimalsanctuary.org. Discover true freedom at the Wild Animal Sanctuary.
Internationally recognized and award-winning author Judy Goodman works and teaches outside the box of limited thinking. Working with people from every walk of life, her goal is to empower you to be the best you can be, no matter what the challenge is. Born with the gift of seeing beyond our normal vision, she has an extraordinary gift of working with every challenge. Teaching beyond conventional wisdom, her work is described as life-changing. Visit judygoodman.com. That's judygoodman.com.
I'd like to thank Jason Eastwood at Guitarfulness for sharing his inspiring music and talent with us. His music is known worldwide for cultivating atmospheres of harmony, inner peace, and clarity. Visit Jason's website at guitarfulness.com. Join his newsletter, be part of his community, and download his music. Welcome back to Moments with Marianne. We're here today with special guest Melissa Zartar, who's here to share with us her new book, A Metamorphosis Within: Journey to Healing, Self-Discovery, and Finding One's Purpose in Life. So when we develop a greater sense of self-awareness, do we tend to improve our self-regulation as well?
Certainly, yes. When we foster a greater sense of self-awareness, we often experience improvements in self-regulation. Understanding our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors allows us to identify triggers and patterns, empowers us to conscious choices to navigate challenges with a greater sense of control. For instance, someone who's aware of their tendency to procrastinate might consciously work on setting realistic goals and deadlines to enhance their time management skills.
In your book, you talk about balance and stability. So how do we get to this place of balance and stability when we feel like everything's out of balance?
Yes, that certainly speaks for all of us. We all multitask all the time. Women are more than men, but everyone had chaotic times when they needed to pause, take a deep breath, and regain a balance when we feel exhausted. To prevent feeling overwhelmed, we may take intentional and mindful actions, including we can start by identifying priorities and concentrate on the things that are most important to us. Divide difficult jobs into smaller, more doable pieces, and setting clear boundaries. Adopting self-care routines and include exercise, enhance your physical, mental, emotional health. And lastly, acknowledging the dynamic of nature of life, cultivate awareness, and welcome changes with positive mindset.
In your book, I really like how you talk about this, is being in a relationship requires commitment and effort, and it is not always easy. And I think sometimes people don't go into a relationship realizing that there's a certain amount of work that's involved, right?
Absolutely, yes. It is a commitment. It is agreement of two people putting hopefully reciprocated energy and effort to get to know each other, and it requires willingness, right, to showing up with your best ability that you can, and being able to hear and support your partner, with whatever you can do. Yes, definitely it requires more energy.
In your book, you talk about how it's important for us to develop a practice of gratitude. So,
Mhm.
why is that important, and does that change our lives?
It does. Practicing gratitude has the transformative power to positively impact our lives by shifting our focus from what may be lacking to identifying and appreciating the abundance around us. This practice encourages a mindset of appreciation, allowing us to find the joy in the present moment and navigate life with a greater sense of contentment. Studies shows that regularly acknowledging and expressing gratitude fosters a more positive outlook, reduces stress, and improves overall well-being.
So, is it important for us to build connections with other people?
Yes, there is. Yes, building connections is a crucial because human beings are inherently social creatures, and meaningful relationships contribute significantly to our well-being. Establishing connections with others provides emotional support and sense of belonging and opportunities for shared experiences.
It just seems during this time that so many people are having a difficult time making connections with one another. What are some ways that they can kind of start incorporating that into their lives?
Yes, being able to connect with friends that maybe haven't spoken for a while, certainly social media can help with that. But also being able to utilize some resources in your communities that you can be part of. There are some, websites that supports this idea, such as meetup.com or eventbrite.com, that offers various activities for people to be able to get together and enjoy getting to know each other and build connections from there.
In your book, you talk about letting go of the past, and I found that to be hugely profound because how often do we grab onto that? And you talk about how, and I've heard this before, but it really stuck with me the way that you put it is acknowledge and accept the past as something that has shaped you, but don't let it define you. And I felt that was so empowering.
It is. It is very empowering. And oftentimes, we are so attached to our experiences and memories, and sometimes painful ones, and we hold on to them. However, if we are to, choose to maybe see them as a possible lessons that we needed to learn, or some experiences that we had to go through in order for us to become who we are today, it might be easier for us to be able to let go and focus on the present moment.
Yeah, it's so empowering to be able to let go of that because I hear about how that really holds people back in so many ways.
It sure does. And it also um, holds us to be able to move forward and develop personally, and being able to make new connections, because we carry that energy with us, we carry that feelings, and we are so attached to the experiences, and it does not do any good to us to live in the past. I think it's important to be able to look at it more maybe holistically about our past, and even being thankful of everyone that served a purpose in our lives, and whether it was positive or negative, and just accept that. I think those experiences are done, and we learned something from it and made us who we are today.
There's a quote in your book by Mark Manson that I've been waiting to talk to you about. So it talks about ascribing meaning to our pain. This can actually give our life purpose. And I'd love for you to share about that.
Yes, I'm a fan of Mark Manson and his books, and he believes that pain is a part of the process. It's important to feel it to heal it, and from pain comes self-discovery. And I so agree with him on this. And even though going through difficult circumstances can be painful, I can see how it can improve our understanding of ourselves. And if we can take a moment to stop being victims of experiences and instead focus on what they are attempting to teach us rather than why they happened, our perspective on life can be profoundly altered by adopting a holistic viewpoint.
I've been waiting for that answer. So I'm glad that we've been able to spend this time and talk about that. I mean, as we look at your book in its totality, and there's so much great information, so many resources in your book, what do you want readers and our listeners to take from your book?
Thank you for this question. So I hope the readers and listeners find inspiration within the pages of my book, nudging them towards self-discovery and embracing change. My goal is for my book to serve as a guide that encourages positive actions, nurtures personal growth, and contributes to crafting the life we've always envisioned.
So, Melissa, where can our listeners connect with you and learn more about A Metamorphosis Within and be part of your community?
Thank you. My book is on Amazon, and I have a website. It's wisdominme.com. I also have a social media page, Instagram page with a wisdom in me _ Facebook page with a wisdom in me. So these are the pages that they can find me.
Well, Melissa, thank you so much for taking the time to be on the show with us here today.
I thank you very much for the opportunity, Marianne. It was a pleasure being here.
Well, thank you, Melissa. It's been such an honor to spend this time with you and to talk about your new book, A Metamorphosis Within: Journey to Healing, Self-Discovery, and Finding One's Purpose in Life. Both books we talked about today are available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and all indie retailers. And remember, support our indie bookstores. Well, we're at the end of our time today. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. You've been listening to Moments with Marianne, where we make every moment count.
In a single moment, your life can change. Moments with Marianne is a transformative hour that covers an endless array of topics with the best of the best. Her guests are leaders in their fields, ranging from inspirational authors, top industry leaders, and business and spiritual entrepreneurs. Each guest is gifted and a true visionary, a recognized leader in her own work, and while teaching others to develop, refocus, and grow, Marianne will bring the best guest and sometimes a special surprise. Don't miss this. You never know just which moment will change your life forever. Make sure to tune in and visit momentswithmarianne.com for more information.